Title: Shadows in the Vineyard. The first time Rebeca saw Esteban was in the main hall of the Vineyard, during a family dinner on the terrace at sunset. He was standing next to a column D and stone, with his hands in his pockets and his gaze lost among the vineyards illuminated by the last rays of the sun. He was new, hired as general manager by his father, and, from that instant, something in him attracted her like an invisible force. The following days passed between lunches, under the wisteria pergola, walks among the grape fields, and endless conversations in the old greenhouse, where the smell of wet earth enveloped each word. Rebeca, who had always been strong and reserved, felt how her carefully constructed world began to crack. One afternoon, under the fine rain on the old lake pier, Esteban kissed her for the first time, a kiss that tasted of promises and danger. "Trust me," he whispered, brushing her cheek. "Only you and I know. Ra el mundo." Rebeca wanted to believe him. She wanted to hold on to that illusion she so longed for, but not everything was what it seemed. A few weeks later, Esteban proposed that they escape together. No more vineyards, no more control paterno. Solo libertad. The plan was simple: to meet at midnight at the abandoned guest house on the hill. That night, under the stormy sky, Rebeca arrived on time, but instead of Esteban, he found shadows and silence. While waiting, he heard voices coming from the nearby stables. He slipped between the trees, approaching unseen. There, hidden with the stables empty, Esteban was talking with an older man, whom Rebeca did not recognize. "Do you have the papers?" asked the stranger. "Yes. As soon as I sign, his father will lose everything," answered Esteban, smiling sideways. "And when it disappears, the vineyard will be ours." Rebeca felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. Her world, her love, her whole life was a farce. That same night, in the bib, in the library of the mansion, Rebeca confronted her father. With tears and rage, she confessed everything. But her father, far from being surprised, smiled sadly. "I always knew that someone would come after our land." "Raz, Rebeca," he said, lighting an old cigar. "We only needed to catch him in the act." They decided to set a trap. During the following days, Rebeca played the role of the blind lover. Acep. He sent invitations to dinners at the village restaurant, boat rides on the nearby river, and romantic breakfasts at the boutique hotel Esteban booked for them. Each caress, each word, it was big in her heart, but she resisted. "I love you," Esteban said to her, caressing her hair on the hotel terrace while the horizon was dyed red. "Soon we will be free," and Rebeca smiled. She pretended. She recorded each confession with a small microphone hidden in her pearl necklace. Finally, the decisive night arrived. Esteban summoned her to a remote cabin among the lavender hills. Thought he was ready. Rebeca arrived in a sky blue dress, the folder of papers in her hand and her heart about to burst. Inside the cabin, Esteban embraced her with feigned passion. He offered her a glass of wine that Rebeca pretended to drink. "Just sign here, my love," he whispered, sliding the papers in front of her. Rebeca, with trembling hands, signed. And then Esteban changed. He was no longer the lover, as I am the executioner. He took a small vial from his jacket, a clear liquid shining under the oil lamp light. "I promised you it wouldn't hurt," he said, approaching. Before he could touch her, the door burst open. Police officers and private security guards stormed into the cabin. Esteban tried to escape, but he was quickly subdued. In the midst of the chaos, Rebeca fell. Illas, breathing raggedly. Everything was over. Or was it? Weeks later, walking among the golden vineyards, Rebeca felt that everything had changed. Her heart, although wounded, beat with fuerza. One afternoon, while closing the accounts in her father's old office, she found an envelope. Inside, a handwritten letter. "Rebeca, it was never just the vineyard. It was also you. Always Fu. It is you. Pardon. Esteban." His hands trembled. Was there any truth in his love, or was it just another lie among many? He had no answers, and perhaps he would never have them. Only he knew that life it continued, and that the vineyard, her home, had survived. Just like her. Under the open sky, among the aromas of ripe grapes and wet earth, Rebeca smiled. Love can betray, trust can't break, but the strength of a wounded heart, that never disappears. End.